Welcome back to the new Sentinel, folks. Chukwuka here around the table with Major Ethan Sentinel Graves, Olga Ivanova, and Duke Johnson. Today we're playing Big Brother, talking eyes everywhere, especially in the city. Everyone ready?
As ever, Chukwuka, and let me tell you, cities like New York and London, they're loaded with more cameras than, well, chessboards got squares. It isn't just some grainy stuff anymore. These things got AI, facial recognition, automatic vehicle matching, the whole 9 yards. We're talking real-time analysis, not just watching crime, but, predicting it before it even unfolds. I was reading last month about London's Met running trials where AI flagged potential crimes, and NYPD's got similar tech. Kinda wild.
Yes, but let us not forget, Ethan, all this is not just about safety. There are serious privacy concerns. Once you permit one set of eyes, soon you permit 1,000. And, well, how do city governments walk this line exactly? Give people security, but keep their freedoms intact?
You hit it, Olga. Look, I'm an old-school grunt. On the one hand, you want to keep your neighborhood tight, right? Fewer bad actors, keep the peace. But these citywide rollouts? They track faces, match plates, log who's where and when. Sometimes feels like the perimeter just moved inside our homes, not the other way round.
Ha, right, Duke. Reminds me of back in 2021, I was following Chicago's push for predictive policing. I'm talking about their strategic decision support centers. Used AI, old crime patterns, traffic cams, predictive heat maps. I'll be honest, they got quicker. Dispatch times dropped, and bad guys went quiet round those blocks. But folks in the community, distrust shot up, especially when nobody really understood how the algorithms were calling the shots. It sparked a real fight at local council meetings. Some said it's safety, others called it digital profiling.
You know, Major, the tech's getting clever, but man, every solution brings new headaches. I remember, some say police monitoring cuts response time, but in practice, you introduce bias, raise questions. Is it watching to protect or, to police for policing's sake? People see the difference, especially in places like New York's Bronx or London's Tower Hamlets.
That's right, and there is also the creeping normalization. Cameras on every lamppost, software that knows your walk, not just your face. Soon, total surveillance is just part of routine city life. It makes you wonder, where is the line between public good and private life? You know, I think about the price we pay in trust. When every step is monitored, it changes how people behave. During the Hong Kong protests, for example, got to see it up close. Surveillance tech did not just watch for crime, it tracked political dissent. Protesters wore masks, covered phone cameras, because any image could lead to arrest. So yes, surveillance tears at civil liberties, particularly for already vulnerable groups.
You make it sound like a police state, Olga. But honestly, I see your point. There's always a risk. Those who already face more stops or are less trusted by authorities. This tech can amplify that. You know, we've talked voter suppression before, like in episode 8, about the law and who's truly protected. But this is similar. Watch some folks more, and you erode their sense of belonging. Or am I being dramatic, Duke?
No, Chucks, you're hitting something. It ain't dramatic at all. Cops love the tools, but if you use them to hammer just one group, you shred neighborhood trust. Folks stop talking to us, stop helping out, forget the serve and protect. You get silence, and that's when crime comes back hard. Add to that, these systems, they sometimes mis-ID black and brown folks more, thanks to how they're trained. Reputation alone can put a kid on some watch list. Seen it, not a fan. But if you flip it and use it with oversight, community input, hell, even open algorithms, maybe you got a shot.
And doesn't it also change simple stuff? How we gather, what protests look like? Back in the day, you rallied and the worst was some guy with a camcorder. Now, they got UAS in the sky, facial recognition sweeping the streets. People get quieter, less likely to speak up, especially against power. Makes democracy noisy, but also more vulnerable. Do we want to trade that away for peace of mind? I'm not sold.
Let's also not forget marginalized communities, LGBTQ+, immigrants, low-income groups. When surveillance expands, these are the groups most affected. They become both visible and vulnerable. Systems built for security often quickly repurpose for social control. I saw it myself from Moscow to Hong Kong. The cost is not only privacy, but social inclusion and freedom to organize or simply exist out of sight.
Good points all. At heart, it's a debate between perceived safety and real freedom. No easy answer, but let's explore how this balance tips when things cross into military zones, eh?
All right, wheels up. Now, you put this tech in a war zone, whole new ball game. Back in 2015, Iraq, Mosul, drones and city cameras let us monitor major roads, spot suspicious movement at checkpoints, ID bad guys quick. Tactically? Gold. No more running blind. But locals hated it. Always felt watched, even when they weren't a target. Trust between us and them never fully came together. I mean, are we keeping them safe, or just keeping tabs?
Absolutely, Duke. And you see that model now? Everywhere there's a peacekeeping operation. Both U.S. and Russian doctrine leans heavy on urban surveillance. I'm talking persistent ISR, intelligence, surveillance, recon, grids that map the city's pulse. Military loves the efficiency. It protects convoys, keeps casualties down. But again, you import this into cities at home. Who ensures oversight? In Russia, and not to mince words, in a lot of U.S. cities, the lines blur between national security and everyday policing.
This is where we must ask, should military urban surveillance standards be allowed in civilian life? They are built for control, not consent. In Russia, counter-terror video monitoring quickly shifted to tracking journalists and protesters. We cannot just accept such transfers. Civil society must insist on boundaries, on transparency and ethics, otherwise the chill spreads. Authoritarianism grows from silent algorithmic roots.
It's tricky, Olga. No one wants the Wild West, but neither the barracks on Main Street. Oversight's key. Congress, courts, citizen review. Tech transfer from defense to domestic policing. Done right, could serve with guardrails. Done wrong, you risk a society policed by shadowy code and no accountability. At the end of the day, tech's just a tool. It's who controls it that decides if it serves liberty or just order.
Couldn't agree more, Chucks. High ground's not enough. You gotta hold it fair. Tech moves quick, but we gotta make the rules keep pace, or we lose what we're trying to save in the first place.
And while we debate, millions live under the lens already. People's dignity is at stake, not just lines of code. We've seen what's at risk. Let's not look away now.
Yeah, I think we still have a lot more to cover. Real and raw. Surveillance isn't going back in the box anytime soon.
So true, y'all. It's a story far from finished. And listeners, if you thought this was deep, just wait for our next dive. For now, I'll say thanks to my fantastic co-hosts, Olga, Major Graves, Duke. Thank you for sharing and sparring, as always.
Stay sharp, folks. Watch out, or tech's gonna be watching you. Catch y'all next round.
Thank you, everyone. Keep questioning, keep demanding your rights. Until next time.
Take care, all. Eyes open, mind sharper. Out.